The shocking story of Flo G, the silent struggles behind the bars. When you hear the name Flo G, you probably think of fire tracks, unstoppable bars, and a swagger that screams confidence. He's a lyrical beast, one of the most recognizable faces in Filipino hip-hop, and a force that helped elevate Pinoy rap to new heights. But behind that tough voice and confident grin is a story few know. A story of silent battles, pressure-filled rooms, and moments where walking away felt easier than fighting to stay. This is the shocking story of Flo G, and it just might change the way you see him forever. Flo G didn't come from privilege. Like many who dream of escaping poverty through music, his grind started from the ground up. While some artists had equipment and studio access, he had nothing but a pen, a beat in his head, and the hunger to make something out of nothing. He wasn't handed fame. He carved his name in concrete, letter by letter, rhyme by rhyme. When X Battalion blew up, Flo G's name lit up like wildfire. The group dominated the scene, but even within that success, Flo G's talent stood out. His delivery was sharp, his timing flawless, and his wordplay untouchable. He wasn't just riding the wave, he was helping build the entire tsunami. But while the crowds cheered, something else was happening behind the scenes. Fame hit fast and hard. Suddenly, this young man who once walked unnoticed through the streets was now being followed, judged, praised, and torn apart, often all at once. The pressure to keep performing, keep producing hits, and keep the momentum going was relentless. But no one talks about the cost of being the favorite. No one warns you that success can feel like a cage when you're not allowed to breathe. That's the part no one saw. Flo G, tired and overwhelmed, sitting in studios for hours chasing perfection, dealing with hate comments online, dealing with whispers about his personal life, and trying to stay grounded while everything around him kept spinning. And then came the turning point, when his personal life spilled into the public eye. When his relationship with Angelica Jane became public, fans dove into every detail. The internet became an emotional battleground. Some supported him, others attacked him. But no matter where you stood, one thing was clear. Flo G could no longer hide behind his lyrics. The world was watching, not just his music, but his heart. People started to judge him, not as an artist, but as a person. And in the age of social media, perception can make or break a career. Flo G was facing a different kind of fight now. Not against another rapper, not against the industry, but against the expectations that came with fame. Here's the shocking part. Instead of fighting back with anger, he fought with evolution. Flo G didn't drop diss tracks. He dropped songs that showed vulnerability. He started crafting lyrics that carried deeper meaning. In tracks like Batugan and Halleck, you can hear the frustration, the pain, the weight of being misunderstood. And it wasn't a gimmick. It was real. He was putting pieces of his soul into his music, and for those who really listened, the message was loud and clear. I'm more than your headlines. I'm human. But it didn't stop there. Flo G began shifting his tone, not just in music, but in mindset. He started helping younger artists, showing support for the local scene beyond his own spotlight. He remained loyal to his roots, but he refused to be chained by the past. While some artists crumble under the heat, Flo G found a way to use the fire to reshape himself. And that's where the true beauty of his story lies. You see, the shocking part isn't the controversies or the fame, it's how he survived it all without losing who he is. Flo G is a man who came from nothing, got everything, nearly lost himself in the chaos, but came back wiser, stronger, and more self-aware than ever. He never begged for validation. He let the music speak. And maybe that's why his story hits so hard. We're often quick to label artists. We judge them by their worst moments. But Flo G reminds us that people grow. They fall. They rise. And most importantly, they evolve. He's still here, still grinding, still breaking records. But more than that, he's building something more important than streams, a legacy. One that speaks of hustle, survival, and honesty in the face of massive pressure. So what can we learn from Flo G? That strength isn't always loud. That the real battles happen behind closed doors. That sometimes the bravest thing you can do is not fight back, but move forward. Flo G didn't have to explain himself to the world. He just kept creating, kept improving, and kept walking with his head held high. That's a lesson all of us can carry. Whether you're chasing your dreams, dealing with hate, or trying to hold on to who you are in a world that keeps pulling you in every direction, remember Flo G's journey. Remember that even in the loudest storms, you can still find your rhythm. Now here's my question to you. After hearing Flo G's story, do you see the artist behind the fame in a different light? Can you recognize the human beneath the hits? And more importantly, do we give people enough space to grow, or are we too quick to define them by their past? Let's talk about it in the comments. Because this isn't just Flo G's story, it's a reflection of ours too.